Hi, Gene here with today's thought. Like the title to today's thought says, another day, another illicit Chinese payment to Joe Biden laundered through various shell companies. We already know about $200,000. Now there's another $40,000. And I'm just going to turn the floor over to James Comer, chairman of the House Oversight Committee, to give you chapter and verse, give you all the details. So here is Representative Comer.
Remember when Joe Biden told the American people that his son didn't make any money in China?
My son has not made money in terms of this thing about, what are you talking about, China?
Well, not only did he lie about his son Hunter making money in China, but it also turns out that $40,000 in laundered China money landed in Joe Biden's bank account in the form of a personal check. And the Oversight Committee has it. Here's how Joe Biden benefited from his family's shady deal with CEFC, a Chinese Communist Party-linked company. It all began with a shakedown in the summer of 2017, when Hunter Biden sent a message to his CEFC associate demanding a $10 million capital payment. As Hunter Biden extorted this associate, Hunter claimed he was sitting with his father and that the Biden network would turn on his associate if he didn't pony up the money. The extortion scheme worked. Days later, $5 million flowed in from a Chinese affiliate of CEFC. Over the following 3 weeks, Biden family members made a series of complicated financial transactions to hide the source of the China money. Here's how that happened. First, Northern International Capital, a Chinese company associated with CEFC, wired $5 million to Hudson West 3, a joint venture established by Hunter Biden and a CEFC associate. Then Hudson West 3 sent $400,000 to an entity owned and controlled by Hunter Biden. Next, Hunter Biden wired $150,000 to Lionhall Group, a company owned by James and Sarah Biden. Sarah Biden then withdrew $50,000 in cash from Lionhall Group. Later the same day, she deposited it into her and James Biden's personal checking account. A few days later, Sarah Biden cut a check to Joe Biden for $40,000. The memo line of the check said loan repayment. Like the payment to Joe from AmeriCorps funds, it's certainly plausible that this payment where James and Sarah used funds from China was indeed a loan payment to Joe. But even if this $40,000 check was a loan repayment from James Biden, it still shows how Joe benefited from his family cashing in on his name, with money from China no less. Without his family peddling his name and his son threatening a CEFC associate with consequences that he said Joe Biden knew about, James wouldn't have had the money to write the $40,000 check to his brother Joe. It's also worth remembering that Biden family efforts to secure millions from this Chinese company began when Joe Biden was still vice president. In taking funds sourced to a CCP-linked company that wanted to advance China's interest, Joe Biden exposed himself to future blackmail and put America's interest behind his own desire for money. The House Oversight Committee will continue to follow the money and hold President Biden accountable for his corruption.
So you see a pattern here. After only 2 of these illicit payments, the pattern is that China needs to pay some money to Joe Biden, so they send the money to a shell company, and then that goes from the shell company controlled by the Bidens to a Biden family member who then writes a check directly to Joe Biden and calls it a loan repayment. And, we'll wait for the next one, but it looks like Comer is hot on the trail, and it's going to be interesting to see if the mainstream media reports this. And if they don't, then it's going to be interesting to see, because there's going to be more of these. There's going to be more. This is just scratching the surface. It'll be interesting to see how long the media can continue to ignore this very big scandal and grounds for impeachment. And there's no doubt about that if this is shown, because bribery is specifically mentioned in the Constitution as a grounds for impeachment. So That's my thought for today. Thanks for stopping by. If you could subscribe, that would be great. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. But most of all, come back and see me again. We'd love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.